Alright. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Forge. I'm DML, and today we're here to talk about Bushmaster. So, Bushmaster is a kukri. It's something I designed a while ago, and I actually had a new maker, Santosh Shankar, approach me looking for a design to make. So I thought, well, hey, why not? I'll give him Bushmaster to do and check out his skills. Now, based off what I saw online, from what he sent me through the chat and stuff, the level of quality on his work actually looks pretty awesome. And from what he's told me about the specs, he didn't do too badly. It is designed to be a heavy duty sort of kukri. It's not designed to be super light and good for fighting or anything like that. It's designed to be a heavy use sort of blade. So we'll open it up, we'll take a look. So I'll try to hold on to these boxes so when I'm shipping other kukri and stuff around I can reuse them. Alright, so let's take a look. Well packaged, bubble wrap. That's good. It'll be interesting to see. Doesn't feel too heavy. It'll be interesting to see what the total weight is. Oh yeah, it's my address and all that. Jeez, he's double wrapped it. This is I haven't seen kukri packaged quite like this before, so this is new to me. This is quite interesting. So he's a box and then bubble wrap and then cling wrap and then what looks to be butcher's paper and more rubber bands. So definitely well wrapped. Can't argue about that. Let's try and get this plastic off. There we go. Plastic's off. Rubber bands off. And here we go. Let's see what kind of... Nice. Oh wow, that's actually quite a fancy scabbard, that one. So I'll chuck this down here and we'll take a look. That's, yeah, quite nice. So very similar to some other designs. We've got Carter at the front, Chakmak at the back. So we'll unwrap these real quick. This is a traditional type Chakmak, and actually I've got to say that's a really nice shape. I like how they've sort of made that little point at the back. It's not too thick. It actually tapers, which is really, really good. And that's actually a really functional looking piece. So we'll have to test it to see how it goes throwing sparks with things like flint, chert, or quartz, because that's usually a requirement of my Chakmaks. The Carter, very well done as well, I have to say, because a lot of the Chakmaks and Carters I've been receiving from a lot of the other designs and stuff have been quite thick and chunky. This, you can see, distally tapers and it's quite thin to begin with, which means it's nice and lightweight. Nice wide sweeping belly, good for skinning and tasks like that. It's not too large in the handle either, just big enough to fill my hand. But I like to taper them off like that, so even if your hands are larger, it's not going to feel unnatural to grip that. Incredibly sharp, which is excellent. So, I mean, you're only talking 2 millimeters thick and then such a high grind. It's going to be an awesome little workhorse, that has actually turned out really, really well. Ambidextrous scabbard as well. So the frog, I don't know how loose that frog is, so I'm not going to mess with it too much yet. But the frog slips off and the scabbard will switch around and go in the other way, and then it'll be left-handed, but it's currently set up for right-handed. The only thing that won't switch is the Chakmak and Carter orientation, but I'm not too fussed about that. Ooh, and here is the Khukuri itself. Got a couple layers of plastic there. Let's make sure we can actually get all of that off. Very well oiled, like incredibly well oiled. And like I said, this design, although it does look relatively fancy, it is designed to be a pretty heavy duty blade, and we will be testing that to see how it actually performs. So here is the Khukuri. I'll have to see how we go when it's all wiped off and stuff, but I've got to say, oh wow. Oh, there's a really cool touch that he's included on this that I'm going to have to show you close up. So I'm going to pause this and wipe all this off, and then I'm going to show you, and then we'll get into specs. I've never seen that before. All right, so we're back. I've cleaned off all of the excess oil, and I've got to say that these are beautiful. That's the only way I can really describe them, is they're beautiful. But I've also noticed a couple of cool little touches that Santosh has added. So you'll see that we've got the brass inlay up here. Now, I mean, if that pops out, I don't mind. But I want to see how it goes, because I've seen a few Khukuri like this with brass inlay that are heavy users, and they've held their inlay quite well. It's got a brass and then steel butt cap, and then brass lined, brass lanyard hole. Again, heavy user, is intended to be used. Knurled center ring, another brass liner, another steel for the bolster. But then what they've done is, if you look really closely, I'll see if I can catch it in the light, the top of the bolster is brass. I don't know if they've brazed that on there or if it's a liner. I think it's a liner they've slid on before putting the bolster on, but that is a really nice touch. That is a really, really nice little touch that they've done there. And it just, where's the point of balance on this? About, what, 3.5 to 4 inches forward, so it's not too bad. That's actually a pretty good point of balance as well. It feels good in the hand. That knurled center ring might be a little bit too flared, but we'll see how it goes in actual use. Distal tapering to the spine is quite good too. They've done the same with the Carter, the side knife, is they've got silver and brass layered, and then brass pins knurling on the top of the handle. So that's, even if your hands are a little bit slippery or wet, you're still going to get a good purchase on there. And I mean, the sizing is actually quite nice. It's going to be a very useful little blade, that by itself. Cool. All right, let's do some specs. Get those out of the way real quick, and then I'll put everything away again in the scabbard, and we'll weigh that as well. Hey, don't give me the low stuff. I don't want a low. I need to change this battery, I bet. Anyway. Bugger. Crap. All right, well, we'll skip that part. We'll go into blade lengths and widths and stuff, and then I'll have to get back to you on the weight because my scales have just died, unfortunately. Kind of sucks, really. All right, so blade length on the Khukuri is 12 inches. It is 8 mil at the bolster, tapering down to, hold on, that makes life a little easier, doesn't it? Tapering down to 3 mil before the tip. It's got twin fullers coming down to the main cutting edge, and then the main cutting edge is relatively stout for heavy use. So that's good. We'll see how it goes in use. I am interested to see how it performs. Blade width is 60 mil at the widest point. You can choke up on it comfortably and use it like this, but you don't need to. It's got a Carter. That's why I designed the carder that comes with it, because for slicey tasks, that's what you want, all right? Cool. All right, so scabbard retention is not great. That'll slide out, but that's okay. I don't mind too much. That's fine. That's something we can probably work on in the future. What about for the carder? See, that carder actually, that's not going to come out. Jack-Mac, let's see, now that it's not wrapped or anything, let's see how it fits. Yeah, it's not going to come out. Nothing's coming out except for the main blade. If you were to jiggle it upside down, it'll come out. With these sorts of scabbards though, if you push that forward, it locks it in. It won't come out. And then you push it back and it releases. That's just a Nepalese traditional dap thing. Even if you've got an old Khukuri and you find that it's not sitting in the scabbard quite right, you just do that. You just lightly push it forwards, it locks in place. Cool? All right. Very sharp out of the box. It could do with a slight touch up, but I dare say that would be shaving sharp already. In fact, let's quickly test. Let's test these real quick. Do I have a piece of paper? I don't know if I do. Okay, I don't. Should have prepared better. Yeah, I know, I hear ya. But it was hard enough just to set aside this time to do this as it was. So we're gonna do a shave test instead. All right, arm hair. It's shaving sharp. Easily shaving sharp. Can you see that? Easily shaving sharp. So if that's the main blade, let's see what the carder does. I dare say it's even more so. There we go. All right. Let's have a look-see. Oh, yeah, okay. So the hair's just literally jumping off the arm. Cool. So this is Bushmaster. It's a heavy use kukri, but it does sport quite a lot of style. It should age pretty well. I'll get final specs as far as weights and everything to you as soon as I can, but unfortunately, like I said, my scales have died. Very classy package, very classy. Santosh, I love it so far, mate. You're doing an amazing job. We'll see how it tests, and we'll see if we need to make any adjustments. But I think so far you're nailing it, dude. This is amazing. I love this. All right, guys, thank you for your attention, your continued interest in Sundog Forge. And I will see you on the next video, which will be in the next couple of weeks. Thanks, guys.